Salve omnes, welcome to this video lesson on Fabulae Syrae, to chapter 27, and we are looking at the third story, titled Phrixus et Helle, Phrixus and Helle. Now, this is the story of how the Hellespont came to be named. The Hellespont is a strait of water that connects the Mediterranean Sea near Troy, or modern-day Istanbul, with the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara further inland. All right. So according to this story, Phrixus and Helle are going to be riding a golden ram. Now, in the normal version of this story, the golden ram is sent by their mother, the goddess of the clouds. Her name is Nephele, the cloud goddess. And she's their true mother, and then their evil stepmother is Ino. We see Ino in this version of the story, but it doesn't really mention Nephele, the cloud goddess, I believe, in this version. But that is in the more common version of this story, Phrixus and Helle. Now, the golden ram that carries them, or at least carries Phrixus all the way to Colchis, Helle falls off into the sea and thus gives her name to the Hellespont. That golden ram, after it dies, its magical fleece becomes the so-called golden fleece, which Jason and the Argonauts go to fetch in another quest. All right, so Athamas Graecorum rex fuit. Athamas was a king of the Greeks, qui postquam eius uxor mortua est, who, after his wife died, alteram feminam nomine inonim in matrimonium duxit, led or took another woman, alteram feminam, by the name of Ino in marriage. All right, and again, this is going to be the evil stepmother of the children here. So this is one of these folktale motifs of the evil stepmother who is out to get the kids, kind of like Hansel and Gretel or in Cinderella or something like that. So this motif goes back really far. Quia parvum filium et parvam filiam habebat, because he had a small son and a small daughter. Okay, so he married again because he wanted somebody to take care of his children, essentially. Quos ipse alere non poterat, whom he himself was not able to nurse or to care for, we might say, for alere. So he married Ino thinking that she would be a good mother to his children, his small children. And again, their names are Phrixus and Helle, as we see in the title. All right. And again, just to mention it, their mother in the normal version of this tale that I'm more familiar with is Nephele, 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 the cloud goddess. It's not mentioned here in the story, but that is the usual version. Okay, so going on then in 113, Ino autem, Ino, however, cum primum in regiam ivit, when first she went into the palace, that is to say, as soon as she came into the palace. And notice regia in the margin, they're glossing that as domus regius, the home of the king, thus palace. Neque purum nomine Phrixum, neque puellam nomine Hellen amavit. Neither loved the boy by the name of Phrixus, nor the girl by the name of Helle. Now notice Helle's name in the accusative ends with an N. That is a first declension Greek accusative singular ending. In Latin, that would be like an AM, but in Greek you have essentially an on or an ain ending for the accusative singular for a first declension noun like this. All right. Eosque ex regia ad parvam casam, quae in silva sita erat, misit. And he sent, or she sent them, this is Ino, the evil stepmother, misit eos, sent them, ex regia, out of the palace, ad parvam casam, to a small hut, or cabin, we might say, quae in silva sita erat, which was situated or placed in the forest. Ubi tamen Phrixus et Hele laete habitabant, where nevertheless Phrixus and Hele lived happy. So they're like, okay, cool. We get to live in a cabin by ourselves. We'll just hang out and play. Quotidie enim gallo caninte electi surgebant. For daily, with the rooster crowing, literally, of course, caninte is singing, but we say with rooster crowing. Electi surgebant, they got up out of their beds. And notice the imperfect tense that indicates they used to do this all the time, every day. They used to get up out of their beds. Mala edebant, they used to eat apples. Et lac bibebant, and they drank milk. So they're fine. They don't have fancy stuff, but they got apples to eat. They got milk to drink. I guess they got some goats or something. Whatever it is. So they're doing fine. Ac postea e casa in silues et coles correbant. And afterwards they ran out of the hut into the forests and the hills. So they're just playing all through nature here. Ubi parvas oves insequentes, vel flores carpentes ludere per multas horas poterant. Where, following the small sheep, right, insequentes parvas oves, or picking flowers, carpentes flores, they were able to play poterant ludere through many hours. Vesperi vero, but in the evening, Ese Luis colobusque, out of the forests and the hills, ad parvam casam redebant. They would return, or used to return, to their small hut. Ubi cenam parabant, where they prepared dinner. Tum denique feci in cubiculum ibant, ubi dormiebant. Then, at last, denique is a synonym for tandem and postremo. Then, at last, tired, feci, they went into their bedroom, where they slept. So it seems like a perfect little life for them. Saipe vero noverca e regia venire solebat. But often their noverca, their stepmom, this is the Latin word for stepmother, was accustomed to come, solebat venire, from the palace, e regia. Eiosque spectabat ludentes, and she watched them playing ludentes. Ino autem non gaudebat. Ino, however, was not happy. Quod videbat purum puellamque tam laetos esse, because she saw that the boy and the girl were so happy, tam laetos. Isque invidebat, and she envied them, she begrudged them. Nolo jam videre hos puros tam laete vivintes. I don't want to see these children living so happily any longer, or I don't want to see them living so happily now. Curabo igitur, therefore I shall take care, ut Phrixus moriatur, that Phrixus should die. Okay, she's going to make sure Phrixus dies. This ut clause here is what we would call a substantive noun clause, or a noun clause of result. I'll take care that Phrixus should die. Profecto enim, for absolutely, hoc modo efficiam, in this way I shall effect or achieve, ut soror quoque post eius mortem miseram vitam habeat, that his sister too, after his death, should have a miserable life. Okay, so she plans to kill Phrixus horribly, and then have Hele, his sister, waste away in misery after that. Great stepmom. Phrixum igitur e casa ad regiam arcesere e iumque interficere constituit. Therefore, she decided to, constituit is the decided to summon Phrixus, arcesere Phrixum, from the hut, from the cabin, e casa, to the palace, ad regiam, and to kill him, eum interficere. Mercurius tamen, yet Mercury, nevertheless Mercury, malo hoc concilio cognito, now all of those are in the ablative case, with this evil plan recognized, So Mercury noticed what was going on. Aureum arietim qui duas alas habebat, de Kylo misit. Sent from the sky, misit de Kylo, a golden ram, aureum arietim. Now, the zodiac sign Aries is spelled Aries, and it's from Aries, which is the Latin word for a ram. That is a male sheep with the horns. All right, so Mercury in this version sends the golden ram. Again, in the normal version I'm familiar with, it's sent by their mother, the cloud goddess Nephilim. All right, so he sent the golden ram from the sky, from heaven. Qui duas alas habebat, a ram which had two wings. Okay, so it's a flying ram. Qui cum primum ad eum locum pervenit, who, when first it came to that place, that is to say, as soon as it came to that place, ubi puer et puella habitabant, where the boy and girl lived, a Phrixo conspectus est, was sighted by Phrixus. Alright, so he sees the magical ram with its wings. Puer igitur, the boy therefore, nihil timens, fearing nothing, ad arietim accesit, approached the ram, or went up to the ram. Eique herbas de campo carptas praebuit, and he offered it, praebuit ei, grasses picked from the field, herbas carptas de campo. Aries non erat saevus, the ram was not savage or fierce. Ergo Phrixus audacior factus, therefore Phrixus, having been made bolder, audacior, or we could also just say having become bolder, in bestiae tergum ascendit, climbed onto the back of the beast. Et laetus clamavit, and happy he shouted, O hele, exi e casa, heli, come out of the hut, et specta me intergo arietis incidentem, and look at me sitting on the back of the ram. Hele fratris voce audita, hele, and then notice voce audita is in the ablative, so let's just translate with a with. This is called an ablative absolute. With the voice of her brother heard. Statim e casa currens, immediately running out of the hut. Exiit, she went out. Neque ipsa metuit arietum, nor did she herself fear the ram. Sed accedens in eius dorsum ascendit, but approaching accedens, she climbed onto his back. Now remember, dorsum is a synonym for tergum. Dorsum specifically tends to be used of animals that are more kind of parallel to the ground with their bodies, which is perfect here for a ram. But it's generally a synonym for tergum too. Ibique post fratrim concedit, and there she sat behind her brother. Aries vero aureus, sursum supra humum se levavit. But the ram, the golden ram, lifted himself, se levavit, up above the ground, sursum supra humum, et ex eo loco, and from that place, ubi sita erat puerorum casa, where the hut of the children was situated, evolavit, it flew off. Okay, flew away from the place where the hut of the children was situated. Mox puer et puella Graeciam reliquerunt. Soon the boy and the girl left behind Greece. All right, and we can see here in the margin the Hellespont, which is that strait of water. And if you look further in the Mare Ponticum, that would be what we call the Black Sea. And out further west, it's the inlet, the part of the Mediterranean Sea that's near Thrace and Asia Minor, or in other words, near modern-day Turkey. Okay, so getting back to our story, soon the boy, we're in line 142, soon the boy and the girl left behind Greece. Et supra mare volantes, and flying above the sea, Ginquas terras petiverunt. They sought out petiverunt, far off or far away lands. Longinquas terras. Hele autem despiciens. However, Hele, looking down, magnos fluctus infra se vidit, saw big waves below herself. Puella per territa de arietis dorso de lapsa est. The frightened girl slipped off of the back of the ram. Okay, so this is how she dies. She falls to her death in the sea, and that part of the sea is named the Hellespont after her. Pontus is one of the Greek words for sea. It's also used in Latin for sea. And Hellas means essentially Hellas, the Sea of Helle. All right. Dum vero cadit. But while she was falling, O frater clamavit, she shouted out, O brother, oro te, I beg you, I pray to you, ut auxilium mihi feras, that you bring me help. Now, he can't really do much here, but she's wishing he could. Dende quatiens brachia et crura, then shaking her arms and her legs, de sumo caelo in mare cacidit, ac mersa est. She fell, cacidit, that's the perfect tense of cado cadere, from the top of the sky, de sumo caelo, into the sea, in mare, and she was drowned, mersa est. Neque frater eam servare potuit, nor was her brother able to save her. Servare, by the way, notice it doesn't mean to serve, it's more related to preserve and conserve, thus it means to save. Nor could her brother save her. The verb that means to serve or be a slave to is servire, which is a fourth conjugation. Servare, first conjugation, means to save or preserve. Ea maris pars, that part of the sea, in qua Hele mersa est, in which Hele was drowned. A nomine eius Hellespontus vocatur, was, or is called, rather, vocatur's present passive, is called by her name, a nomine eius, the Hellespont, which again, one more time, means Helle's sea. Frater diu flevit, the brother cried or wept for a long time. Flevit is a synonym of lacrimavit. Ipse tamen non cacidit. He himself, nevertheless, did not fall. Sed usque ad Asiae terra mulavit, but he flew all the way to the land of Asia. And here we mean Asia Minor, okay, modern-day Turkey. Quae Colchis appellatur, which is called Colchis. Now, if we see Colchis on the map, it's actually, that might be more toward like Armenia and Iran there. It's at the far side of the Black Sea there, near the Caucasus Mountains. All right. So Colchis, the magical land, this is where eventually, again, the ram is going to die, and his fleece is going to become the magical golden fleece that Jason and the Argonauts seek out. Now, Phrixus is going to live there in Colchis now, where he's escaped to, and he's actually going to marry one of the daughters of the king there. All right. Ibi aries purum exposuit. There the ram set out the boy, or placed him down. Qui bestiam dei sacrificavit. Who, the boy who, sacrificed the beast, the animal, to the gods. So in this version of the myth, the way the ram dies is he sacrifices it, probably in thanks for them saving him. And again, in the normal version, this is the cloud goddess Nephele that sends the ram. In this version, it was actually Mercury that sent the ram. Tum aureum eius velus ad cocidis regim portavit. Then he carried the golden fleece, aureum velus. And fleece, by the way, means the wool from the sheep, right? Which I think he killed the ram and then skinned it, and then it has the wool on the skin, right? So that's what we're calling a fleece here. And it's golden because it's from this magical flying ram, right? So then he carried the golden fleece, or its golden fleece, to the king of Colchis, qui corabo inquit, ut hoc velus aureum in ramo altissimae quercus ponatur, who says, I will take care that this golden fleece, hoc velus aureum, be placed, ponatur, on the branch of a very high oak tree, altissimae quercus, quae in silva prope regiam est, which is in the forest near the palace. Draco vero saevus, but a savage dragon, qui in silva vivebat, who lived in the forest, circum arboris truncum se volvens, rolling or entwining its body, truncum. That's in reference to sort of the trunk of its body, right? The length of its torso, you might say, rolling its body around, rolling itself, say, and then the truncum here actually is more the body of the tree. Let me fix that. So rolling itself around the body or the trunk of the tree. That makes more sense. Aha. Teach me to be too fast. Velus per multos annos custodivit. It guarded the fleece through many years. So there we go. So savage dragon who lived in the forest, rolling himself around the trunk of the tree, guarded the fleece through many years. And eventually, again, Jason and the Argonauts are going to come from Greece. And the Argonauts are a group of famous heroes, and one heroine, Atalanta, comes with them. And they get the fleece and bring it back to Greece, but not without the help of the king of Colchis' daughter, a famous witch named Medea. But that is another story. All right, well, that is the end of this story, the story of Phrixus and Helle. So I hope you learned a few things there about mythology, about some vocabulary, and perhaps some grammar as well.